Hello everyone, today I will make a short tutorial where I can give you some tricks and tips that can help you use Cinema 4D Release 14 to produce a simple fur bowl like the one you see here in the render view. What I used here, I used some simple polygon systems. I used two hair systems so I can change the material used for both of them and the length of the hair or the guide, and we will see how to use it. Some other things or other features related to the setting I will tell you at the end of the tutorial. Okay, let's just begin. The final photo that I rendered of my tutorial was just like the one you see on the screen. A simple photorealistic, if we can say, hair system or a hairy ball. Sorry, forgive me for my accent. It's a ball, a simple ball made of different sorts of hair. I used here the hair system of Cinema 4D, and I'm not likely to use the fur system. This one is more specific. We can find different features in it. So let's start with a brand new file. The reason why I prefer to use Cinema 4D rather than any other 3D application is that the render is very fine than any other one, and especially for the hair system. Okay, let's begin. I will begin my modeling by using a sphere, a simple sphere. Let's just display the wireframe or the line while we use the color shading, so I use the second display. Okay, press C on the keyboard, or if we can press undo, Ctrl Z. You can press this icon here, make editable, or you can press C so you confirm it to an editable polygon. Okay, let's move to the polygon selection mode, and I will open the select menu so I can make my selection for specific regions based on loops. So I use the loop selection. I will make some selections for different loops. Okay, that's not good. That one. Okay, and that will be my selection. So how can I make this selection stable or fixed in my file here? I will open the select menu and I will use set selection, which is the last or pre-last icon here in this menu. Set selection, I will give it a name. Let's call it, we will use it for the short hair, so we call it the short hairs. Okay, when I press anywhere in the scene and I double click this selection, it will return to me again. Okay, I return to my simple live selection tool, and I would like to use this selection as a polygon separated from the second one. So as I can add different or two hair systems separately for every one of them. So I will right click and choose to subdivide, to split. I will use it to split. What will it do for me? The split will create a new object of the same name, but it appears to be separated from the realistic object, which is the sphere. So the new sphere here, if we hide the second sphere or the original sphere from the scene, I will find that this one, this is the original sphere and this is the new one. The new one only have the polygons that we have selected a moment ago. I will call this one short hairs The second one here, I will make this one visible in the scene, and I will hide this other one. For this one that I called, wait a minute, just give me, yes, this is the one we call short hair, which is hidden, and this is the one here I can call long hairs. Okay, long hair is the one that we see now. The other one, let's hide it from the scene, and let's show the other one, short hairs. Short hairs has two selection. I want to use the other polygons rather than the one selected, so from the select menu I will use invert. I will save it, save this file, let's give it a name, and let's call it ball, or fur ball. Put it on my desktop, just press save. Okay, for the short hairs, that one will be the short hair. I give it a name, short hair, I give it the selection name, and I will reverse selection, or I can just delete this selection because it will give me the rest of the polygons. Here I can delete the polygons itself by pressing delete, and I will shift to points mode. I will click Ctrl A in order to select all the points. Here I will find, if we just get closer, that we have points we may not use it. So I right click and I will press optimize. So the system will remove any other points that I will not need it anymore. Okay, let's show the second system, and I will return to the model mode. So the hairs, the short hairs, if I hide it, I will see only the long hair object. If I hide the long hair object, I see the other object with it, which is the other polygons that I was not selected. Okay, now let's assign two hair systems for each of them. I will select the short hair and I will shift to the polygons mode. Now double click the selection, or just press Ctrl A, so I select all the polygon in this object. Now from the simulate menu I will use the sub menu hair objects, and I will press add hair. As you see, what we can see here on the screen, only the guides, not the hairs. So if I press render, this is something crazy. It's not what we need. So let's just make the long hair invisible just for now, and we will work on the current selection or the hair that we added to the short hairs. Okay, what we can do now is that we can identify the setting of the hairs. We need it short, long, how many centimeters, how many segments. That's what we will find in the attribute section here in this part under the object menu. Okay, here I will press on the guides. I can reduce the length to maybe, let's make it 15 centimeters. The segments can be just 5 or 6. 6 can be good. Let's move to the hairs. I need to multiply it by 10, so I will just put a 0 here, and I will make this 5. I will make it 6, so I can get a dense furry hair, and I will make the segment as well as 6 as the guides. In the fill hair section or tab, I will check fill hairs, and I will change the count from 40,000 to 50,000. Maybe 55 can be better. So now when I press play, not just too much. I press play just for few frames, just like that. When I press render, this is what I will see. Something here we need to learn, that the hair system takes some time to render, so just be patient, or you you need to have a better machine or PC. Okay, this is the final shape before we edit our hairs. How can we edit the hairs itself? By editing the hair material we got here. We find it here in the material section. I double click it and I will make few changes. First thing, I need to change the color of the hair so I can make it funny a little bit. Let's change it to something greenish. I begin with a dark green like that one. Press OK, and I will choose a light green. Maybe that one can be good. Okay. The other thing I need to change here is the thickness. The root of the hair need to be at least 0.8 can be good, and the tip I will change it from 0.1 to 0.05 so it can be finer, and I will raise the variance to 5. That can be good. All these options can be explained in detail in other tutorial, but this is a quick one. So I need to choose frizz. I will activate it. Kink, clump, bend, curl. What else can affect the hair? I make it looks like I may not need to the kink. No, the clump, the curl here. No, the bend. I don't need the bend. The curl can be less curly. I will reduce the amount of curl, so it can be just something like this. Can be good. Okay. You can change the wave, the straighten, any other things. You can manipulate the percentage of kink, of frizz, scale, whatever you need to do. I find this good, so I will close the setting menu. I will press render view. I will wait until my hair is rendered. Okay, this is what I get for the first object that I added hair to it. It looks like something like grass, but I like it that way. And if we get closer, we find that the count of hairs maybe sounds good. Maybe we need just to reduce the value of the thickness. Maybe 6 here and 3 here can give me better results. I press render. Sometimes if you got a machine that can be affected or take longer time, you can just use this icon, render region, just to make test for this, just this region of the render, not the whole thing. So let's just try it to make a quick view. I here will render just this part of the overall render, and that sounds good for me. Now we are done with the short hairs. Let's select the long hairs. I will press Ctrl A, so I select all the polygons. From the simulate, I will choose hair objects, add hair. Now something a little bit weird may happen if we change the settings of the hairs, the new hair system. Here the guides can be whatever, the length can be, we just set it to 15, now we can make it 8, the segments can be 5, hairs, let's make just the same settings, fill hair, and I will make it 45 as I remember. Wait a minute, 55. Okay, just make it the same thickness. Okay, now I will delete the new hair material. I will duplicate the green hair material, and I will duplicate it by pressing Ctrl and drag it, just like that. Now I can just change the color, so I got a new set of hair. Let's make it something crazy. Let's go crazy with it. What about this nice blue? I like it. It's the same as the light one, the tips. That is quite good. Okay. Drag this new hair material, drop it here, and now let's just render. This is what we get, and this is not just the final render. I will press Ctrl so I can, and I will press Alt and my middle mouse button so I can change the zooming here or the orbiting. I will press render again so I can see my final results. And this is not finals, we will change something in the final render settings. Okay, that sounds good. I need to, now I may increase the amount of the shorter hairs. I will make it 65 hairs. I will raise the guides as much as I can. Sometimes guides can stop at a certain limit. Here it is 240. For the other hairs it is 266. Okay, let's just make the segments. Here it is 8 centimeters. We only need 4 segments. The same with hairs. 4, fill. Okay, let's press render again. And now it is time to change the setting of the final render. That sounds good, but I need to make my scene just like the one I made here looks a little bit realistic. So what can I do? I will return here, I will make my scene. I will add a disk from this menu, polygon menu. Where is my disk? It is here. Okay, just go to the front view by pressing the middle mouse button and go to the front view. I will push it to be beneath my ball, and I will go to the model mode, change the size, make it larger, return by pressing the middle mouse button to the full view and return to the perspective view. Now I need to get a simple material, reflective material for this disk. I will make it quick. I will go to the content browser and I will look for the available background material. Maybe that one. Let's see other things. Background, we have here some shaders. Use the shaders you have. Maybe that one can be good. Raise the reflection, get it some reflection. Maybe 27 to 32 can be good. Let's make it 30. Drag it and drop it to the disk. Now let's press render, see what we get. Cool, it's good, but the reflection here is not quite as I expected. So I raise the reflection a bit and I will make another render. Okay, but what we see in the reflection here, if we just go a little bit lower here, I will focus on my disk. I will press render and I will wait. What we see here in the reflection is the bowl, not the hairs. I would like to see the hairs or the fur that I just created reflected on my disk. So I will do the following. I will open this icon, which is the editing render setting, and I will make few modification. Here I will find this hair render, add it. So I will change the shadow maps. I will make it 700 50 by 750. I will go to the lights, leave it the same, object the same. For the render, I will check this one, reflection, refraction, trace the shadows. I will press it. So it will activate the reflection of the hairs that I just added to the balls. What else I can change here? I will go to the save and I will change the format of the final render file. You can make it PSD file if you would like to modify it in Photoshop, whatever the application you would like to edit it. Here in this case I will make it as a simple JPEG file. I will not render it, and I will change the output from here, from this output option. I will make it, I will open this simple arrow, I will choose screen, square 2K, which means it will be a square image 2K by 2K. Okay, that sounds good for me. I need to affect the overall, what we can call ambient occlusion. I will add an ambient occlusion effect to my photo. I will open the effects from here and I will choose ambient occlusion. That will add some soften shadow maps to my photo and make it more realistic. That's what we will see now in the final render. Okay. By the way, the render settings require a whole training course that maybe you prefer to learn it in detail, because here I just refer to some few things that you can use in order to enhance your final output, but some details here can be more profitable. So let's just press render and we will wait because the ambient occlusion takes a little more time. Okay, now it's popping up on my screen. The shadows of my hairs are here available on my disk. My disk looks a little bit draggy, so I will raise the rotation segments. Actually, I don't like that material, whatever. I will raise the reflection in it, and I will use a specular. It's not added. Maybe this can change something. Okay, let's return to the setting here, make sure everything is correct. Okay, the hair renders, we got the shadows set to 750 by 750. I can choose the shadow to be soft shadows. That will be better, and that requires you to be trained to adjust shadows or shadow maps from lighting in the first place. Okay, we will wait for the final render. I hope that will be the final. Yes, that's it. Now this is my photorealistic image. Here you can find the hairs look smoother. Now let's render it to a file so we can see it better. I will press this menu, I will press and hold, and I will choose render to picture viewer. That was my first image I rendered. I just changed the color. The palettes I used here are different, so you can get some fun. Wait. Working with hair system for me is a sort of fun. It's not just creating these simple poles. We can use it to make them creatures like show the sheep, like stuffed puppets. It looks more realistic in Cinema 4D, as I believe, and I will provide you with some detailed courses that will learn you how to model these stuffed bears and add hair to it so it looks like realistic ones. As we can see, if we get closer to the photo, details here gives us that photorealistic feeling that makes you feel that this is a real ball. This is a real fur ball. Of course, some extra setting modifications and some retouching in Photoshop or other application used for retouching can help you enhance your final render, but this one looks good for me, for now at least. Wait until the render finishes. Okay, not yet. We can just minimize it, return to our render view. Now this is the final render, and this is my final render of another ball. I created using the same technique, but here for the disk I just used another material. You can create your own material, and you can get a whole course of material editing and material creations, which will be good for you. But for now, this is just a simple example of how to use the hair system in order to create photorealistic furs in Cinema 4D. Let's check our final render. Yes, it's done. Now let's open the file menu, press save as. I will save it as a JPEG image. From the options, I need it to be the top quality. I will raise it to 100, press OK, save it to my desktop. Fur ball, it's okay, just save it. Okay. And here, this is my fur ball. Where are you? That's it. Okay, this is the final render of the ball we just created now. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and I will provide you with some other tutorials in the same field, in modeling, spline modeling, and in fact you will find that you have different options for modeling in Cinema 4D. We will talk about this later. Just give me your feedback under the YouTube video. I know my accent is not wholly British, but I'm doing my best. Just try to keep up with me as much as you can. See you in other tutorials. Bye bye.